Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, by Shimi Al Shai, by Hashem Ruchal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who will. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect Akim doing this work in truth and sincerity. Uh, Shalom to you, Akim. Blessings to you, elect Akim, who are pushing the right message and the right doctrine, in this fallen world that we live in. And I wanted to do this video on floods and Trump's trade war creating uncertain year for farmers. And I want to say real quick, man, in this truth, you become to enjoy actually checking out news, different articles, and watching, like the scriptures say, man. I'm just gonna get it real quick, man, because it just comes second nature now to see what's going on and lining them up with the scriptures. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, aka Sirach 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out that wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. Exactly, man. Being occupied in the meditation thereof, meditating on what's happening and equating them to the scriptures accordingly. You see, because pretty much on every up the street, around the corner, every angle, there's just distractions and things that could get your mind off of what's happening on your day to day. Just like this article. It says this article right here says corn prices are rising as surging floodwaters and soaking rains combined with President Trump's trade war with China are making it an exceptionally difficult year for farmers. Salakia, uh, facing risky choices about what crops to plant or whether to plant at all. It's probably the most complicated season I've ever seen, said Wallace Tyner, a professor of agriculture economics at Purdue University. And this is actually May 31st, which is yesterday, 2019. Year, uh, so far this year, farmers have planted only 2/3 of the corn they would have been expected to by now, based on previous 5 years, and with their fields still wet or underwater, the window for planting corn is closing. The resulting rise in commodities prices could eventually mean higher food costs in the nation's grocery stores. Yet the standard decisions facing most grain farmers are already trickier than usual this year as a result of President Trump's escalating trade dispute with China on one of the most important foreign markets of agricultural products from the American Midwest. And yeah, it's the spirit because, yesterday we were speaking, some of the Akim were speaking about how this place is really just a land of importation, okay, being imported with goods and things of that nature. This is this is a commodity such as corn and things of that nature. Uh, 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 with America, they like to get their things imported. They don't produce very much, as you can see. So that's why what comes in handy is these different deals in these trades with these different nations. Okay, but the arrogancy and the pride of Trump and these different leaders, there's always quarrels between them, such as tariffs and taxes. Because and I wanted to get that word as I thought about it, a cold war, because a lot of this is going to lead up to an actual war, physical. This is a cold war, a state of political hostility between countries characterized by threats, propaganda, and other measures, sorts of open warfare. Kind. And what's one way of an open warfare is through financially and fiscally, and agriculture is one of the biggest, things these nations like to deal with. Corn and rice and oil, petrol, things of that nature. Okay, but when you're not on one accord, just like these nations, that's where the problem occurs. And I'm gonna get this Revelation 18, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power in the earth, with lightened with his glory, and he cried mighty with a strong voice, Slakia, saying, Babylon is great, Slakia. Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Let's say, it says, Slakia. Commander, where was I at? Slakia. Read verse 3 again. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich with the abundance of her delicacies. Verse 2 was mentioning how this place, Babylon the Great, is fallen. This place is Babylon, so it's fallen via the agriculture, the infrastructure, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So that's how this place is falling, man. Incrementally, slowly but surely, this place is going down. There's no way to save it. And then verse 3, is going into how the merchants of this place, I believe a scripture goes, how for the Maktesh, I forget, where it's at exactly, but how for Tarshish. Shit, I ain't gonna butcher it, but basically it's going into how those cities, basically over in the Mediterranean Sea, those are a lot of abundance of goods over there. You see, and in this modern day, it's still going on. And all those countries surrounded, that body of water, that's where they did a lot of trades and things of that nature, man. But now they're waxed fat, they're waxed rich, okay, with their delicacies. But it's going to come a time where that's going to be all shut down, and physical war is going to occur, you see, rather than just threats and, passive aggressive gestures. It's going to be actual war, flat out, period. This is Isaiah 29 and 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with great earth and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Because these floods are ramping up. These floods are, especially we're in a season for that. Different floods, tornadoes, earthquakes, and things of that nature. In the Midwest, parts of the South, the Northeast, the East Coast, down there in Texas. It's always and that puts a damp on Esau's crops and gives him a hard way of doing this, growing his crops, and it suffers. But that's the Lord visiting this place, you see. That's the judgment on by Yahweh Shem Yahshai on Esau. Taking out different car dealerships and flooding homes and things of that nature. That's all Yahweh Shem Yahshai. I call all Yahweh Shem Yahshai for that. Any way we can see this place getting destruction is the best, man. This place is already through. I think that's pretty much the scriptures I had, man. But yeah, that's let's see if there's any more bit on this article. I read a little bit more earlier in May. Mr. Trump imposed a 25% tariff. Yeah, a 25% tariff on 200 billion of Chinese imports, and threatened to do the same for another 300 billion. In response, China has cut back on its imports of agriculture goods from the United States to help farmers. The Trump administration has offered assistance payments designed to offset lost income from the trade war. However, those payments will be calculated on how many acres of crops a farmer plants this year, which means any cutbacks in planting due to floods or rain will hurt farmers even more by reducing eligibility for government assistance. There you have it, man. I'm going to stop there, but there you have it, man. All these different trade wars and things of that nature are just going to cause more friction between these nations. These trade wars. You see? It's gonna create a culminate to the World War III, which is gonna happen. And Lord willing, this is edifying. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Chakadash, the bonders and the elders and the apostles. Millstone, rule, peace, blessed, salutations to you, like Akim, doing this work. Shalom.